Welcome to In the Kitchen with Dinah. Today we're making Texas brownies.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
So I'm going to share with you how to make Texas brownies. This is something I grew up with my whole entire life. I know that it's also referred to as Texas sheet cake, and the only reason is that it makes a huge cookie sheet full of cake about this thin with this delicious fudgy chocolate frosting on it. So the size of the pan is about a 12 by 18. It's also known as a quarter sheet pan. So you'll need that size of pan to make this. Any smaller pan, it's gonna not fit. So that is the first thing. All right, so in a glass, microwave safe bowl, we're gonna want 1 cup of butter. It's not for the faint of heart. And leave them, it doesn't need to be softened because we're gonna stick this microwave here quick. If I can get them open. Half a cup of shortening, which is a half a stick. Come on, here we go. We want a cup of water. And then we're gonna put in 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And if they're heaping a little, it's fine. All the more delicious. Okay, so we're gonna put this in a microwave for at least 1.5 minutes. You want it all really, the butter to melt and it to kind of get nice and warm. All right, so we're gonna start off at about 1.5 minutes. All right, let's see how this looks. Well, it is nice and warm. I want my butter melty. I think we've achieved what we want. So this is hot. The shortening's not gonna melt so much, but the butter is, and that's what we want. So let's go get this mixed up. We're gonna add 2 cups of flour and 2 cups of sugar to this. All right, now we're gonna get the rest of our dry ingredients in. Actually, I'm gonna give this a whiz right now. You wanna be really gentle. I'm kind of poking it to make sure that butter's all soft, which it is. So I'm just gonna give it a quick mix. Okay, that's good. And it's gonna look a little funky, but we're gonna mix it more. So the next thing we're gonna add is, how much do I want? A teaspoon of soda to a half a cup of buttermilk. And this is gonna be the leavening agent in there. And that is gonna make a chemical reaction and get all bubbly. So we're just gonna let that sit, give it a little. Whisk. All right, so we've got a half a teaspoon of salt. A teaspoon of cinnamon. Now, a lot of people don't realize there's cinnamon in these, but it sure, if you've got a really good taster, you can taste the cinnamon. I think it's so beautiful to taste that with the chocolate. It's a match made in heaven. But make sure you add it because it adds a lot to it. And we need 2 eggs. Totally forgot about that. Tough shell. Okay, 2 eggs, half a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of cinnamon. We've got our buttermilk.
How much buttermilk?
A half a cup of buttermilk with your 1 teaspoon of soda in there. And give it a whiz. These are a pretty loose brownie. They're very cakey. In just a second, we'll give it a good stir. All right, we're gonna give this a stir here. And also you're gonna wanna make sure that you preheat your oven to 350 degrees and then spray your pan. So I got that. Make sure I got it stirred. I'm gonna give it a little bit longer. I'll mix it just a little bit more. Okay, these really do come together pretty quickly. If you have like large family gatherings or friends coming over, or your kids need to send something to school, I don't think they get to do that anymore, but they go together pretty fast. And everybody loves a brownie. So I've got my greased cookie sheet. I'm just gonna pour it in. You can see how loose it is. It is very cakey. That's probably why a lot of people call it Texas sheet cake, but it's always been brownies at our house. And you just wanna get it all the way out to your corners. Make sure your batter's level. There's nothing worse than a crooked cake. And on this one, I'm even gonna like shake it a little. Drop, you jumped. Drop it, get some of those air bubbles out. Okay, we're gonna put it in a 350-degree oven for 25 minutes. Yum. So we got our Texas brownies in the oven, and we now we're gonna make the frosting that goes on top. It's important to do the frosting, make the frosting and get it set while they're in the oven, because we're gonna put the frosting on them hot. That's how it gets to that fudgy texture. So I have 3/4 of a stick, which I think is 6 tablespoons of soft butter. I'm gonna put that in a bowl here. Make some chocolate frosting. We got 3 tablespoons, 3 cups of powdered sugar. Put a little sprinkle of salt in there. We need 3 tablespoons of cocoa. And we're gonna mix the dry, move out of the way, Denver. Mix this up real gentle. Get your butter incorporated into the sugar. Give it my glug of vanilla, which is about a teaspoon. I'm almost out of vanilla. And then we're gonna add in 4 tablespoons of milk. I'm just gonna use this. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, that's a fat 4. And poof, you got frosting. Yum. Right, let's give it a stir, make sure I got it all mixed together. Nope. It's hiding in the corners. Okay. Now it's a lighter color because I beat so much air into it, but it's gonna sit here now until the brownies come out, and then I'll show you how to frost them. All right, that looks really well mixed. All right, so I'm gonna let this sit here. I'm gonna get my area cleaned up and ready for those brownies to come out of the oven, and we'll get them frosted. I'll see you in a minute. All right, the timer went. You can see that it's done. It's pulled away from the edges and that's perfect. So let's get it on a cooling rack and get the frosting on. Oh my gosh, these smell so good. I don't know what's better than chocolate in the oven. All right, so we've got it out. We've got our frosting ready, and I've got my offset spatula again. I hope that you guys get one of these because I can't live without it. So let's turn this so I can frost it better. Okay, so here's what I do. Let's give it a... I kind of do this. Disperse it all over. Because that brownie is tender. Frosting is a little, then it melts a little. Then you can spread it really easy. Yum-o. And you want to use every bit. Okay, now I'm just gonna go, oh man, look at that melty goodness. Whoa. You wanna go all the way out to the corners.
Now, this is one of the only things I know of that you frost hot.
Yes, this is, me too, this is the only one of the things I know that you frost hot. And it's not a thick layer of frosting either, it's really thin. Maybe that's why I like these so much. I'm not a huge frosting person. I like a little, but not a lot. And this just has just a really nice thin layer. Boy, it is so yummo. So now we've got it all frosted. You're gonna wanna wait for it to cool completely before you cut into it because you can see how jiggly the frosting is and it's gonna need a setup. We're not gonna cut into it today because I've got it for an event for tomorrow. So I just wanna say, hey, thanks again for joining me in my kitchen. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe and turn on the bell for notifications, and share me with your friends. Maybe they'd like to learn how to make Texas brownies too. So I hope you guys try this. If you do, comment below. And if you don't, comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys. You guys have a great day and enjoy these brownies.
When you tilt your head down, you got a couple of wild curls back there.
I know, I can't help it. Welcome to In the Kitchen with Diana, and today joining me, my crazy hair. Thank you so much. Crazy.
Chocolate and butter, seriously.
Denver's like, Mom, what do you have? Gosh. I need every spatula in my kitchen today. I need some pot holders.
Gonna taste good, I know.